Well guys, वेलकम टु माई भ्लग होइन। यो भ्लग चाहिँ अब हामीले चाहिँ सिङ्गापुरबाट लिएर छौँ, सिङ्गापुरको चाङ्गी एयरपोर्ट। भर्खरै हामी चाहिँ हिजो हाम्रो डिपार्चरको त्रिभुवन इन्टरनेसनल एयरपोर्टको चाहिँ हामीले खिच्न पाएनौँ है। इट्स फिल भेरी हार्ड टु से गुड बाई, त्यही भएर मैले खिच्न पाएन। तर अब अहिले चाहिँ हाम्रो यहाँ सिङ्गापुरमा चाहिँ लामो ट्रान्जिट भएको कारणले चाहिँ अब टाइम पास गर्नको लागि पनि मैले चाहिँ सानो भ्लग लिएर आएको छु है। अब आज हामी दिउँसभरि सिङ्गापुर एयरपोर्टमा के गर्छौँ हामी सबै यो भ्लगमा राख्नेछौँ। अब जनाले चाहिँ यसो घुम्दै यसो एक्सप्लोर गर्दै चाहिँ होइन, यहाँ फ्री टुर सिङ्गापुर रहेछ है। यहाँ अलिकति फ्री सिङ्गापुर टुर रहेछ होइन। अनि हामीले चाहिँ त्यहाँ गएर बुझ्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ फ्रीमा घुमाइदिँदो रहेछ 2.5 घन्टा है। अनि त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ त्यो हाम्रो ह्यान्डब्याग चाहिँ लिएर जान पाइँदैन रहेछ। त्यो चाहिँ हामीले लगेज स्टोर गर्ने ठाउँमा गऱ्यौँ होइन। 2टा ब्याग राख्नलाई हामीलाई सिङ्गापुर कति $20 लाग्यो। हामीले चाहिँ ब्याग राख्यौँ र अब त्यो टुर लाने ठाउँमा गएर वेट गर्न जाँदैछौँ है। अब 10 बजीबाट चाहिँ हाम्रो टुर सुरु हुनेछ र 12:30 बजी खत्तम हुनेछ। हेर्नेछौँ के देख्नेछौँ हामी त्यहाँ। अब टर्क हामीले चाहिँ पास पाइसक्यौँ गाडी। अब हामी चाहिँ फ्री सिङ्गापुर टुर। अब हामीले चाहिँ कोही मान्छे यहाँबाट लिएर जान्छ भनिरहेको छ। अब हामी चाहिँ यहाँ केही समय वेट गर्नेछौँ गाइज। हामी चाहिँ पुरै इमिग्रेसन क्लियर गरेर होइन सिङ्गापुर एयरलाइन्सको चाङ्गी एयरपोर्टबाट चाहिँ बाहिर निस्किसकेको छौँ है। हाम्रो टुर गाइड चाहिँ त्यहाँ टुर गराउँदैछ है। त्यसमा चाहिँ अहिले हाम्रो टुर गराउनु जान्छ है। टक्क सिङ्गापुरबाट निक्ल्यौँ है गाइस। गर्मी रहेछ बाहिर चाहिँ होइन। अब यो हामी जाने बस चाहिँ त्यही हो, सबैजना चढिरहनु भएको छ है। बाहिर गर्मी रहेछ गाइस, एकदम हप्दिने रहेछ। एयरपोर्टमा भएर मात्रै नदेखाएको रहेछ। यसलाई चाहिँ एकदमै हतार हुन्छ गाइस। यो अघि पनि 1 नम्बरमा भएको हो। यो छुट्यो भने चाहिँ गाह्रो पर्छ है गाइस, यो मोटेलाई चाहिँ।
Indoor waterfall. Let's see how many of you have seen pictures or videos of the waterfall. Oh, I think less than half, hands down. For those of you who have seen it or seen the pictures, let me tell you, the actual thing, much better. On the way back, I will let you know what are the things you can do at the Jewel, or if you choose to go to the Jewel, all of you are welcome. So I leave it to you. If you do want to go back to the city, I'm more than happy to give you some tips and advice. Just let me know end of the tour. I'm happy to share with you subway, the buses, the taxis, but along the way, go enjoy yourself today. Okay? So when we go back to the Jewel, enjoy yourself there before we go back into the different terminals. Alright, so right now we are headed to the city, but a little bit about our airport before that. Changi International Airport, where you came from. Turn your left, cameras out. You are now looking at the Marina Bay area. The tall hotel you see there is the Marina Bay Sands Hotel. I'll introduce that later. The two domes across the water are the domes of Gardens by the Bay. I will talk about that when we're near the garden. And can I ask you to look at the water in front? It's really interesting because do you see on the left there's a wall that separates the water from the sea? You see the wall on the left far away? Ladies and gentlemen, before the wall was built, this was salt water. When we built the wall, we've converted this to a fresh water reservoir. Right? On the left right now is a very famous for all the fans out there, Singapore Formula 1 Grand Prix pit building. Every year in September, this comes alive because the Formula 1 happens here. This is the start and the end. Right now it looks empty, but we continue to use it for exhibitions and other events. Over there on your left, the big wheel. You see the big wheel? That is the Singapore Flyer, the world's largest observation wheel in 2008. Alright, so we are 165 meters. In 2008 we were number 1. Then there was an annoying little country, very annoying, known as the United States of America. Singapore 165, US, Singapore's oldest and grandest hotel. One night here, prices start at 1,500 Singapore dollars. Alright, they say because Paul has lost it, but Paul cannot afford to. Alright, they say that stepping to the gardens is pretty much like stepping back to the colonial times. Everything in there beautifully preserved, right? The gardens, the furniture, the architecture, even the bed and furnishings are all old style. You know, the four pool actresses like Elizabeth Taylor, singers like Michael Jackson, see most of the popular hotel with them. We have just crossed this road and we're entering into what used to be called the Civic District by the British. And for the British, this area is where the government buildings are. The British Queen is the head of Anglican Church. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the St. Andrew's Cathedral built in 1850s. Right? So again, look at it, beautiful and white. It was just restored 2 months ago. Right? They have put it up for almost more than a year. They have taken care to restore it. It is now beautiful.
हामी चाहिँ टक्क बसबाट निक्ल्यौँ है हाम्रो गाडी चाहिँ पुरै ठुलो बिल्डिङ छ है
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Right, welcome to this spot. The little statue there is Sir Stamford Raffles. So we do call him the founder of modern Singapore. He stepped on the shores of the Singapore River over there. We are going to walk across the Singapore River in a short while. Okay? Now the British have a very funny habit. Wherever they go and set up a port or a city, they like to separate. They like to organize people into areas because for them it's easier to manage. I'm going to show you a map that goes all the way back to 1822. This map was drawn by Sir Stamford Raffles. How is it planned? This is the Singapore River and that is the river there. British landed here on the north side. So where they landed on the north side, before that, the Malay people used to live around the river, right? So when the British came, the Malay people agreed. They signed a contract, British gave them some money, the Malay people agreed to move, and the British decided that this area on the northern banks of the river is too cheap there. Alright everybody, follow me. Please don't take Santos and shot the photographs there. I know you want to see the Malayan. Alright, walk. Quickly, come.
काम जस्तो खाने गाइज अरूले जे छुटायो नि यो सानो मान्छेले केही छुटाउनु भएन गाइज जे पनि अगाडि गएको छु टिकट पनि बिहानै काट्यो अरे
The other more interesting reason why I asked you to stand here is, ladies and gentlemen, you are now standing in the middle of the Singapore Formula 1 racetrack. Alright, every year you realize in front of you, do you see that the road is blocked out? This is a pedestrian bridge. However, in September for 1 week, they'll remove the blocks and this will be where the race cars will come all the way down here, cross the bridge, it will go that way and it will turn on the left and it will go to the Formula 1 pit building. So if you like, stand here, take a nice picture of yourself on the Formula 1 racetrack, alright? And then I'll meet you in the shade in front. Alright, let's go.
Road in a way the answer because it was raining.
गाह्रो त भइरहेको त रहेछ होला कहाँको थियो बोलाएर चाहिँ Malaya River. दामी रमाइलो भइरहेको छ बेबी सिङ्गापुरमा
रमाइलो तर लास्टै गर्मी
गर्मी crowded eh Hello guys, 7-Eleven here.
Yes, it's winter, but it's very hot now. We can go to the gardens. Alright, so follow me. Everybody listen. Sir. Lion Park. One gentleman asked me what's the Merlion. That is the Merlion. Alright, Merlion is looking nice and white because we've renovated it recently. Just reopened last week. It's so white. I've never seen it so white before. I suspect they used toothpaste and they just brushed it. Okay? Now this area in front of you is Marina Bay area, and you have the gardens here, and I'm going to show you a picture of what it used to look like. So, can you imagine everything in front of you? This was taken in 1970s. So what do you notice in front of you was all open? Sea. Everything in front of you all used to be sea. We actually built this only in 2010. Alright, and before that it was a bare land that we reclaimed, and before the land it was open sea. That is the famous Marina Bay Sands Hotel. Right? Over 2,500 rooms. Of course, most famous is the observation deck on top. 200 meters from the ground, 380 meters from end to end. It is so long, I can take the whole Eiffel Tower in Paris, I put it on top, and there's still extra 50 meters. Okay? The most popular is of course the observation park at the corner. Tourists love it, especially at sunset. You go up there, you see the sun go down, you see the city lights come up, and it's very popular. If you ever want to do it, please reserve your tickets early. It is always fully booked. Finally, in the middle, I know you cannot see from here, but facing us in the middle, 150 meters, a beautiful infinity swimming pool. One of the highest infinity swimming pool in the world, and it is a magic swimming pool. The swimming pool, your hair will never get wet. Oh, you don't believe me? Go Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. You will notice all the photos are just like that. Nobody goes swimming. Okay? Everybody pays money to go there, but it's not to go swimming, so their hair will never get wet. Alright? It doesn't look good. And do you know they have to pay $1,000 just to go swimming?
कता हो आँखै खायो भने तिम्रो आँखै खायो होइन भने त्यही त अब गाइज हामी चाहिँ अहिले यो डोम्रे है झन्डै श्रीलङ्का भने सिङ्गापुरको है दामी ठाउँ रहेछ तर गर्मी चाहिँ एकदमै सिडनीको गर्मी जस्तो रहेछ दामी गर्मी सास पनि गाह्रो भएर चाहिँ ह्युमिडिटी एकदमै कम दिस इज सिङ्गापुर है गाइज ल निन्द्राले झुमबाट आँखा खोल्नै गाह्रो भइरहेछ अब हामी हिँड्छौँ होइन लास्ट गरिम भयो बेबीलाई चाहिँ होइन फोटो नि खिच्दै यही हो गाइज है
के अरे आनन्द हुन्थ्यो होला
खोइ हाम्रो खोइ पानी भयो सब आइरहेको छ होइन फोटो खिच्नै परेन नि हाम्रो त होइन मान्छे खोज्नु परेन हाम्रो मुख पनि आइहाल्यो पानी भयो त्यो बाघ पनि आयो मरिना दियो भन्थ्यो क्या अरे सब आएको छ गाडी
यस्तो गर्मी हुन्छ नि यहाँको मान्छेहरू सुन्नु न मेरो कुरा यहाँ यस्तो गर्मी हुन्छ र नि यहाँको मान्छेहरू कसरी यस्तो
त्यो
गोरा
होटल किन आएन हाम्रो पछाडि
यहाँको मान्छे यस्तो गर्मी बस्छन् किन बुढो हुन्छ
खोइ यार
आँखा खोल्न सक्यो भने त के र गाउँ
गेममा हाम्रो जुब्ली वाक चाहिँ सक्यो गाइज होइन यो चाहिँ म्याप हो है मोर्लियन पार्क हामीले मोर्लियन पार्क पुरै घुम्यो अब मेरो बेबी पुरै
मिनिङ छ थाहा पाइछ
के अरे मोर्लियन भनिदेऊ त
मरमेडको मर र लायन हेर्दाखेरि हुन्छ न लायन अनि मरमेड जस्तो लायन
अँ
मर लायन
त्यही भएर मोर्लायन पार्क होइन
मर लायन
They named it the rain tree, however, they have a special name. They are also called the 5 o'clock tree.
5 o'clock
Yes, because very interestingly, in the evening at about 5 o'clock, the leaves will close up. Alright, so in the old days, this was the sign to go home. Alright, so these are the rain trees, 5 o'clock trees. In the old days, these were used to tell you it's time to go home, work is done. Because there was time when work ends at 5. Today, for about $25 the next time. This is the boat they use to bring goods from the ships to the warehouse. Now, can you look at the eye in front of the boat? You can see the eye in front of the boat. It's really interesting. In the old days, when they have to load cargo, what are the eyes for? Number one, the Chinese believe that the eyes are there to protect the boat. It's, you know, you put it there so that you can look out for dangers in front. Although it doesn't work, but well, Chinese believe that. The other very interesting use is this. The eyes will tell you if the boat is too heavy. When they load the cargo onto the boat, the eyes must always... Yes, they do use it as a picnic area now. Ladies and gentlemen, in the past, this used to be the original home of the Merlion. The Merlion used to stand at the corner there. Alright, so you see a picture of the Merlion here in 1987, together with the beautiful ladies of the Miss Universe when they held it for the one and only time in Singapore. So Merlion surrounded by the beautiful ladies, and that used to be the location. Now, do you notice something missing in the picture that is in front? The bridge. The bridge was built there in 1997. Now, because they had a bridge there, the government believed that it now blocked the sight of the Merlion from tourists, so they decided it was time to change the position. So in 2002, they lifted the whole Merlion from where it was. They put it onto a boat, they sailed it to the bridge, lifted it over the bridge, and then brought it over to the new home at the other side. Now, some Chinese believe that the water from the Merlion is good luck. So when the water flows into the river here, it's like water coming into Singapore, wealth coming into Singapore. But with the bridge there, it was blocking the water, blocking the luck. So now when they shifted it over there, water continues to flow into the Bay Area, money continues to come into Singapore, especially the money of tourists. Okay.
Nanti minum. छैन अहिले घाम गयो तर अब हाम्रो बस चाहिँ यहाँ छ गाइज होइन बसमा जाँदैछ अब नेक्स्ट डे
National Gallery of Singapore, one of the world's largest collection of Southeast Asian art. Ladies and gentlemen, please look on the right because they managed to find Singapore, and so they wanted to make sure that people knew this. On your right, Indian, and everyone else gets to put together. That's the last one. Alright, others. Now I'm with Japanese soldiers for 3.5 years until 1945. When the exam ended, all their remains, because we can't identify them, we put them into plots of this big. So under the memorial, 303 plots. Right? So every year on 15th of February, we gather, our religious leaders will gather around the memorial and say a prayer to remember the dead. Why 15th of February? That is the day Singapore fell, right, and the British surrendered, and we remember that day because we want to remind ourselves, as I'm sure every country does, that no one fights for you except yourself. So we want to remind ourselves that it's important to defend yourself, right, and that's why, in case you do not know, in Singapore, there's compulsory conscription Merlion. Can I let you know, ladies and gentlemen, the Merlion, for me as a Singaporean, The Merlion was actually specially created for tourists. Okay? In the 1960s, when we wanted to start building our tourist industry, our tourism, right? They decided Singapore is hard to remember. We need to give tourists a picture that they can imagine and make them want to come. So they held a competition, and the winning design was a Merlion. Now, why a Merlion? The fishtail represents old Singapore when Singapore was a town by the sea, possibly a fishing village, right? So fishtail is about old history and heritage. Why a lion head? Okay, so here goes our history story. So this is a story that's recorded in old Malay history journals, but as we know, history always has a little bit of story to it. Alright, so in the journals it is recorded a majestic Singa. Now, for those of you who do not know, Sanskrit was the language they spoke then. Alright, they spoke Sanskrit then. Singa is the Sanskrit for lion. So the man basically told the prince, you have just seen a mighty lion. So the prince went, I like this place, beautiful beach, and since it's a very good omen that I've seen a Singa, I will stay here, I will build my kingdom here, I will call this kingdom Singapura Lion City. One of the avatars, or one of the versions of the god, right, has a lion head and a human body. Right, so the poor man probably said, okay, it looks like that. About 35 minutes, but it costs less than 3 Singapore dollars. Air conditioned comfort, clean, no dirty trees. Right? Buses. Longest journey on a bus, less than 2 Singapore dollars. On a bus that looks just as clean and like this, air conditioned. Alright? Wedding Gardens by the Bay, going for another short walk of about just about 30 minutes. We're a bit delayed today, so I just had to short a little bit, but I will still be able to show you what I want to show you. Alright, just walk with me. We'll walk around the garden, take some nice photos, and we'll get back to the bus. Okay, all feeling okay? Okay, I got some questions that were asked to me. I'll try to answer them on the way back, alright, when we come back to the bus. And keep it coming, I'll try my best to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
दोस्रो घुम्ने ठाउँ है यसले ल्याएको गार्डन्स बाई द बे है यो एकदमै राम्रो छ वरिपरि झिलिमिली क्रिसमसको एकदमै रमझम लागिरहेको छ
Over here?
दामी ठुलो रहेछ है गाइस दामी ठुलो
Oh, you're in the mood, aren't you? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, by the actually late 1990s, early 2000. So these are all reclaimed land, and in fact, this is how it looks today. And we are here. Gardens by the Bay is here. Alright, so the whole Gardens by the Bay is made out of 3 big gardens, but you are now in the biggest garden called Bay South. This garden is built on the side of the tree so that more plants can occupy a small area. That's number 1. Number 2, look at the shape. What do you think the shape is good for? Not really shade because it's too high up. Water. It helps to collect water. The canopies, when it rains, it will actually collect water. The water is then used to water the plants around you. And if there's extra water,
like it's nice to see that where you can actually do something without daily. But we don't need to.
सुपर ट्री रे गाइज है सुपर ट्री म्युजिक पनि दामी दिइरहेको छ साढे रहेछ है गाई साढे है चार्जिङ बेबे माइकलले सही मिस गर्यो होइन Christmas.
Oops, sorry. The last super tree. I always stop here because even if I don't, the guests will always ask me, Paul, what is this? Alright, so I decided it will become a stop. Ladies and gentlemen, this is known as a cannonball tree fruit. Alright, so this is a very interesting tree because the fruits look exactly like cannonballs. Another interesting thing, you realize the fruit grows on the tree trunk. Many times fruits will grow on the branches, but for this tree, it grows on the trunk. Now this tree, the fruit is not edible, but I understand that this tree is very popular in some Hindu temples. I understand especially temples dedicated to Shiva because the flowers, alright, basically are used in the worship. Alright, so I've got a picture of the tree with flowers, and this is actually, the flower apparently will die in one day. Alright, but it's beautiful with flowers. Please take a look. However, my favorite is the yellow bridge. Right, so this is the OCBC Skyway, and you can pay again admission to go to the bridge and walk across. I like it because the bridge is a suspension bridge. So if the wind is strong, it shakes a little bit. So it adds a little bit of thrill, and the view there is also very nice. However, the best thing in this part is actually usually free. Every night at 7:45 and 8:45, the trees will come alive with music and lights, and they change the music every month. And the show is totally free, about 10 minutes long. If you come at 7:30, 8:30, you find many people, tourists and Singaporeans, lying on the floor, sitting on the floor, waiting for the show to start. Okay, I say usually free only because this is Christmas. As you can see, lots of Christmas decorations. And let me show you how it looks like at night. I'm using my phone because the colors are nicer. Alright, just take a look at how it looks like at night. And you tell me that this is not mesmerizing. Isn't this beautiful at night? Yes.
घामले खाइदिएको गाई जस्तो पसिना तर है 2 घन्टा 2.5 घन्टा अब हामीलाई फेरि एयरपोर्ट पुऱ्याइन्छ अरे घुम्न र हेर्न धेरै कुराहरू छ सिङ्गापुरमा इट्स गुड नाइस अघि हामी घुम्न गएको थियो सुपर ट्रीहरू गाई चाहिँ बिराल ड्रोन ल्याएको छ गाई चाहिँ बिराल चाहिँ दामी छ बिराललाई क्रिसमस लागिरहेको छ गाइस नाइस क्याट मेरी क्रिसमस Merry Christmas बसा यतिखेरमा सिङ्गापुरको टुर सक्यो भने बेबी
We have to wait there.
कहिले घर पुग्नु जस्तो छ
है गाह्रो भयो तिमीलाई गर्मीले झन् धेरै नै गर्मी रहेछ गाइज है उताबाट चाहिँ एकदम टुरिस्ट बस आयो दामी बस चढ्न जाँदैछ है अब बस चाहिँ आइसक्यो लेट्स गो बेबी लेट्स गो हाम्रो दुईजना साथीहरू चाहिँ आइस बल्ल चिसो शीतल होइन चिसो शीतलले पर्फ्युम लगाएर राखेर चाहिँ साथीहरू कोही लडिरहनु भएको गर्ने हामीलाई चाहिँ अब धेरै टाइम भएको भएर यहाँ सपिङ सेन्टर पनि घुम्न दिने रहेछ होइन अनि उसले चाहिँ अब हाम्रो बोर्डिङ नहुन्जेलसँग चाहिँ जाँदा हुन्छ भने भएर हामी चाहिँ यहाँ ज्युल सपिङ सेन्टरमा आएको छौँ गाइस होइन ज्युलको भित्र अगाडि ठुलो फाउन्टेन हामी झुल भनेर झुलै झुल रहेछ गाइस यहाँ त भोक लाग्यो बेबी स्टेजको झर्ना रहेछ गाइस है स्टेजको झर्ना सब हेर्नु छ के खाँदैछ तिमी म्याक खाँदैछ म्याकडोनाल्ड सकिन्छ त जम जम जम